Hello and welcome to a new video. In this video I'll be showcasing the Werewolf Lightning Storm build. It is an amazing build. I've already done pit 85. I think I can clear 90. I've tried it, but it was like 1 minute over time. I just need to level up my cliffs from they're all level 45 right now, so I need to get them a little bit higher so I can actually get that multiplicative damage. But this build is amazing. So I'm not going to get too much into it. I want to keep my introduction short. Let's get right into the build. Of course, if you appreciate, like, comment, subscribe, give me some feedback, help out the channel. Thank you very much. Anyway, so the main thing about this build is the Tempest Roar, which makes your storm skills, which is your lightning storm, it would also be a werewolf skill. That's very nice. And for the master working, you want plus the wild impulses, because that is a multiplicative damage bonus. And also we don't care about any of the resources because we have Cataclysm, and once you have that up, you have unlimited resources, so we don't really care about that. So that's an important thing about this build as well. You want to have the Cataclysm up as much as possible, so that's very important. Then for your Shroud of False Death, this is just getting extra all stats. It's very nice. You also get +1 to your key passive, which is very nice because your boots will also synergize with this as well. So Shroud of False Death is a hard one to switch out. You can go for Tyrials, but you will sacrifice too much of your damage for survivability. And survivability wise, we're doing fine. Ensuing Static Reps, of course, amazing. Defiance will give you multiplicative damage, so it's not all too bad if you get that in Master Working, but you do really want to get that Lightning Storm or Defiance. Pants, you want to get some maximum life and armor. You really need to get your armor cap with just your pants, so this is very important that you get your armor percentage in there. You can hit it once with like Master Working just to get that armor, but you would prefer total armor over your just your plain armor. I think that gives a little bit more. And then just a chance for immobilize. As for your boots, this will give you some insane combos based on your bestial rampage. This is also why we take both our debilitating roar and trample, just so we can change into forms even more. Our earthen bulwark it's a human form actually, so we'll change back into human form as well if we cast earthen bulwark. So these are 3 skills which will allow you to proc your wild heart, and this is why also we want to have some cooldown reduction, so we can actually keep proccing that as well. This is also especially nice transition. This is why I opted in for a totem, just for that extra cooldown reduction, so we have more skills to spam. You could opt in for just doing instead of trample, just getting your basic bear skill, and the name I forgot, but it's basically your first skill that you get, a basic skill. And you could just opt in for that, and then you can proc your wild heart a lot more consistently, and you don't really need the totem anymore, and you could go for 2-hander. I currently don't have a good roll on my retaliation. This is the only good retaliation roll I have, and I don't want to crush it yet, so I will try out the 2-handed one, and then I'll let you guys know in the build planner. Of course, there is a build planner linked in the description. So, and then for of course you want your cooldown reduction on your totem. I would say as a second stat, instead of the damage, I would say either crit chance if you're not taking the runes for crit chance, or just get health. Survivability is always nice, and you want to hit the master workings, of course, on your chance for lightning storm to do double damage, or cooldown reduction. That's also pretty decent, but the double damage is really nice. It's basically multiplicative damage. Speaking of multiplicative damage, you can get multiplicative damage an insane amount on your amulet if you get End Venom on there. And Venom is the main stat you really want on there. I haven't gotten it, but and then you want to get cooldown reduction and willpower percentage. I'm not going to give up the willpower percentage just for the chance for Venom. I would need to reroll a lot, so I really like the extra willpower I'm getting now. I think it's quite a substantial amount as well. This is really 400. Well, it might even be 400. So yeah, the 22.8% is quite big. So you really want that. Cooldown reduction is very nice. If you could get a GA, even better. Yeah, and Cataclysm cooldown reduction for that uptime, as what I was talking about earlier. If you opt in not to do your runes, to do any crit chance through your runes, you can opt in for, instead of the critical strike damage, you would get critical strike chance with either storm or werewolf skills. Both will increase your critical strike chance and make it to a 100%. Then Ring of Starless Skies. I've seen other people do attack speed on there, because you get like 100% attack speed from your equipment in Paragon, and then another 100% attack speed from your bestial rampage. So Those are separate things, so you can get a lot more attack speed from this. I just got +2 core skills and was fine with it. I'm like, this is great either way, because I also don't have damage +2 my Lightning Storm on my unsung reps. So I think this is a fine middle ground, but you can get a lot more attack speed in there with the Starless Skies. And then for the Mjolnir Ring, you can get 100% increased damage with this if your Cataclysm is up. It is very noticeable if you don't have it up, because that 100% damage is crazy. And of course, Endless Tempest is very nice for that increased duration, so you can get that uptime up to 100%. Then for the Spirit Boons, quickly, Wariness, Iron Feather, Avian Wrath, Calamity, just for the extra uptime for Calamity, and Calm Before the Storm. If you notice that you already have like 100% uptime and you didn't even select this one for any reason, take Masochistic. This one is just nice for the extra survivability. You're already gaining quite a bit of life just by casting your Lightning Storm because of one of the passives, but this one really gives you a lot of survivability also. Skill tree. Not many things has changed from the human variant. Of course, we take just a random dump stat, all in wild impulses. We do get our fortification from Earthen Bulwark as well. I think with the 3 different kinds of fortification, it might be a bit overkill. You could maybe opt in to get 1 point out of there to get more uptime for your Calamity, but for now, I think this is fine. Just for the extra damage for the Earthen Bulwark. Now that I see this, yeah, we maybe could opt in instead of Trample to get your Maul, but I think Trample is quite fun as well. So mobility is also pretty nice. Nature's Reach for Aptitude, these are all basic stuff. One note I do want to give about the Endless Tempest is that you can play around with putting points into this and points into Cataclysm. Cataclysm points will actually reduce the cooldown by like 1.4, so any points put into this is actually a cooldown reduction of 1.4, but any points put into that will do an increase of like 1.2. So this is basically the debate. Do you want your duration to be higher or your cooldown to be lower? It's a bit of you want a bit of a balance between each, which is why I put 3 points into here and 2 points into there. So if you have any extra points laying around, do put them into Endless Tempest and your Cataclysm, but I'm not sure where you'll find those. Then for the other ones, I only put 2 points in there because I'm pretty broke on points, to be honest, but the extra multiplicative damage is nice. Defiance just dealing a lot more extra damage against elites and bosses. Defensive Posture is just extra damage reduction, and of course your heightened senses for even more damage reduction while you're in Werebear or Bear form, or Werebear or Werewolf form, and your Bestial Rampage will give you a lot of attack speed and increased damage as well. Paragon. I want to keep this at just about 10 minutes, so hopefully I'll be able to do this. I always say I go quickly with the Paragon board, but let's see. First one, Fulminate, is for that extra lightning damage. Then you go into Lust of Carnage, just for that extra damage while you're in werewolf form. You'll be dead most of the time. Electrocution actually works. I think I tested it. I did my best with testing, and it does seem like you get that 20% increased damage. I think for some reason, even though your Cataclysm doesn't say it's a lightning bolt, it says a lightning strike. But even though lightning strikes does kind of count for a lightning bolt, I'm not sure, but it does seem like the 20% damage is actually in there. So I would still take Electrocution. Then I went to Ancestral Guidance for that 40%. You would definitely hit that Spirit cap. This one is just a nice keeper for the rare nodes, which is extra damage. Then we're gonna go for the first we're gonna go to actually Heightened Malice for the 45% once you poison enemies nearby. This is why you also want to keep enemies semi nearby. This is because you just get a lot more damage if you damage them, and then all of your damage, by the way, will poison them. So that's very nice. Then Spirit, you want to put as many points into Spirit as possible at the end. Once you've got everything else, then you want to put as much points, because that will just give you a lot of critical strike damage, and then the more critical strike damage you have, you will get that 30% from your Avian Spirit Boon. Cliff Socket, Earth and Sky, and at the top, of course, in the one Thunderstruck, you'll just get 60% damage bonus if you have a sum of 300% damage versus close and damage versus distant, which you will easily be able to get. I think even in the Paragon board you will have some notes where you give you some damage to distant and damage to close. So this one's quite nice, but you will need quite a bit of willpower to unlock everything. I think that was it. Oh, yeah, Mercenaries, of course. We do take resistance to against all with Rahir. And we do take Bastion with the increased damage while in Bastion. So that's always nice. So that's it for it. Altkin, just more damage reduction. You could opt in for the 10% attack speed from the other one, but I think this one's actually, the damage reduction is actually quite nice. So that was it. This is just over 10 minutes, so I want to keep it that way as well. I just want to see how everything's gonna do if the video is under 12 minutes or something. So I really appreciate you guys watching the video. I did have some tier 4 Infernal Horde gameplay in the background, so I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I really love all the support you guys have been giving me. So I hope you guys do that as well in the future. I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.